Hello YouTube, US Mintman here again. I want to do a quick video about open carry versus concealed carry. Now I know there's a lot of videos on this, I just want to kind of give my opinion, put my 2 cents out here. And I don't think it's quite one or the other. I think it is all situational, and I'll go in and explain that down the road here. So let's kind of go over the advantages and disadvantages, pros and cons of either one. And this is just also from what I hear and read in other videos, or hear in other videos and read on forums, and in my own experiences. So this is kind of opinions, and whether or not they're that crucial or not, you can make that call yourself. So first thing I want to say is open carry. So open carry, I don't know if you'll be able to see that. It's just on the outside. And open carry, the main advantage is it's readily available. Your only action to get to that firearm is to put your hand down, grab the firearm, pull it out, and you gotta go. That's kind of the main advantage here. Other than that, there's not much. Some say that, if you're open carrying, that you're going to deter a criminal. I think you would deter a criminal that's not that gutsy. If a criminal really does intend to hurt people, he's probably going to do it regardless. He's going to hurt you first, or he's going to get to you first, or he's going to try to go for your gun when you're open carrying. Now, the likeliness of that happening is pretty slim. I think I've actually open carried before and had a conversation with my brother, and he didn't even know I was open carrying. So, you also have to look at the state of mind of people. Most people aren't going to notice. Some people will. And then, you do get, police encounters if they call the police. But, it's not that big a deal, in my opinion, unless you're carrying an AR on your back, which some people do. Now the disadvantages, like I said, anybody who intends to do a crime is going to be more aware. They're looking around, seeing if anybody's looking around at them, or seeing around if there's any cops. They're going to be more likely to notice someone open carrying. So either they're going to wait till you're gone, they're going to go somewhere else, they're going to just leave, which could deter a crime, but then they may just do it somewhere else. And they just get away with it then. 3, if they're really, really gutsy, they'll go for your gun first. They'll come up behind you, maybe take your gun if you don't have any sort of retention. Which is why if you're open carrying, especially if you're open carrying, be aware of your surroundings. Make sure no one comes up behind you. And then the other, and if they have a gun, obviously they're going to shoot you first. You're the one that can fire back. They're going to get you first. And if they have then criminals, they conceal their guns. Okay, so they have the element of surprise on you. Even no matter how aware you are of your surroundings, they're going to be concealing, so they're going to have the advantage on you. They could come up to you, boom, before you even realize that there's somebody after you. So that's kind of the cons. Another one, I guess, would be dealing with normal people. A lot of people out there are maybe not necessarily anti-gun, but they don't want, to see a gun. It may make them uncomfortable, may make their kids uncomfortable. Even if it doesn't make them uncomfortable, they don't want their kids to freak out, so I've seen that before. So, dealing with just society in general, not just criminals, open carry is just kind of in general, I would say the cons outweigh the pro. So, now, in situational, like I said, in the house, in my own home, I open carry. just because it is readily available. You know, I'm in my house. I know no one's going to come up and sneak up behind me in my own home. You know, uh, if they get through the house, we've got dogs and they're allowed. And if they get in the house without anybody knowing and happen to get my gun, they're master assassin. You know, which I don't know why they'd be in my house anyway. But that being said, that or on your property, like if you have a big property, you know, I get that. Or if you're out in the wilderness, you know, when I went hunting last time, I believe it was last time I was carrying my dad's 45 in a holster and walking around with it, and that's mostly for protection against, you know, a bear or a cougar or, you know, a coyote, whatever, something along those lines. Typically, when I'm hunting, you know, when you're out in the wilderness, you're aware, you hear sounds. Typically, no one's going to be coming up behind you, and you know. So, you know, when you're up in the mountains, out in the middle of nowhere, in rural, you know, areas, like not in metropolitan areas, you know, cities, suburbs, when you're not in those areas, open carry I completely agree with. So it totally makes sense. Now, concealed carry. Concealed carry, it's concealed, obviously. So, unless you're printing really badly, like really, really, really badly, more than likely nobody's going to notice. The only people who are going to notice are probably other carriers of guns, other concealed carriers, because they worry about printing as well. So, you know, they'll be more aware of it, but then, you know, they're not going to be on your side anyway. So, they might just come up and say, hey, you're printing pretty bad, so, or maybe your gun slips up or something, or slips out of your shirt. They'll be like, hey, you know, it came out. So, you know, you have the element of surprise, especially in a life and death situation. Anybody does a crime, any sort of shooting, you know, the criminals are not going to target you first because they're not going to see you as a threat. They're going to see you as somebody, just anybody in the crowd. So they're just going to be going for target's opportunity. They may not see you with a gun. You may be able to get out that gun and get it on target without them even knowing you have one. You might be able to get the shot off before they even realize that someone's about to shoot at them. So conceal in a defensive manner and defensive another against criminals who intend to do other people harm or yourself harm. I consider conceal better. Now, the con for concealing, slower draw time, and people may argue that there is. Whether or not there is or not, if you train, you know, you can get that close, even if it's just half a second, less than half a second, you can get it close. But I've also seen people fumble, even with training. I've seen people go for their shirt, and their shirt, as they pull it up to get to their firearm, the shirt hangs on the grip, you know, and he can't get a proper grip through his shirt. That can happen to anybody, even the most trained people. So that's kind of the con. Now, you know, all that could depend on what type of clothing you wear. You can wear a tank top or a t-shirt underneath with the gun on the outside, and then a button-up shirt over the gun, so you can just flip it out. So it just kind of depends. So concealed carry definitely out in public, in my opinion. If you're on your own home, your own property, or out in the wilderness, or you're not really going to run into many people, maybe campers or other hunters or whatever it is you're doing, or if you're hiking, then open carry. Why not? It's just, you can conceal carry too, whichever you prefer. But I think if you're going to the mall, if you're going to the store, conceal carry, in my opinion. Now, I have heard that there are certain areas, now I'm not 100% sure because I don't know. In my state, you can open carry and conceal carry, and with me having a license, I can open carry anywhere that I'm allowed to carry at all. Now, in certain states, I've heard that the only way to carry it is open. Now, I don't know why, if it's just to say, okay, you're open carrying so people are aware that you have a gun. So if that's the only way you can carry, then open carry. It is better than nothing. It is better than... You're already light years ahead of anybody who doesn't carry. So, open carrying in that situation is definitely a good thing. So, now you take into account like Alaska. You don't need any sort of permit. People carry guns all the time. Now, whether in Anchorage or not, or Juneau, the bigger cities, I don't know how regulated guns are in those areas. But, if you're out in the wilderness in Alaska, or in one of the really small towns, you're probably going to open carry, whatever. But, so yeah, that's my 2 cents. I definitely would probably prefer to conceal it. I can definitely see the open carry being more comfortable. It's a little bit more comfortable. When I can, I'm going to open carry, but I also don't want to do that out in public. So, if I'm out in public, I'm going to conceal. If I'm at home, I'll open. And, yeah, that is it. And you have to come with whatever works best. Definitely look into what laws are in your specific area so you don't break any laws. Like some states don't allow open carry, only concealed carry, and stuff like that. So definitely look into your own laws for your specific area. Well, I hope that shows you my opinion on some good things. Get your mind rolling on what you would prefer. Hope that was some good advice. And, please, if you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. While you're there, like and subscribe. Tell your friends about me, to try to get this channel rolling. And leave some suggestions for new videos in the future that you'd like to see. Any sort of topics, anything you'd like to review, or like me to review. And I will see you in my next video, and I will, hopefully that'll be soon. See you guys.